Hey guys, so while I wait for the bus driver to let me back on, it's the first time I've been told to, get off the bus in a while they take a break. I wanted to come on here because apparently there's a lot of news surrounding MercedesMone, if you will, the former Sasha Banks. And reports are coming out via Dave Meltzer and maybe some other sources as well that, as far as Mone being Soraya's partner next week, that's not going to happen. Now, a lot of people have pretty much, basically made up their minds and are convinced Mone will be Soraya's partner, and that Soraya choosing Toni Storm is just to throw us off. It's like, we see what you say. It's more like they're using GIFs, like the Agatha winking GIF that's out there from, WandaVision. They're using that where they're like, we got you, Tony. We got you. Okay. All right. Like, stop trying so hard. Because they're convinced that with the way Hikaru Shida, I guess, reacted to Toni Storm being chosen over her, that Shida's going to attack Toni, and then that's going to prompt Soraya to bring out or call upon MercedesMone as her partner. And I kind of brought this up. I know it made no sense in the super chats, both to Alex and Solomon. So basically it was the same super chat. But I pointed out that you're looking at a heel Mercedes teaming up with a babyface Soraya. And look, I understand that you could play both sides of the fence. I've talked about that myself. You could play both sides of the fence. There's no doubt about it. But one thing that Solomon brought up was, Mercedes could be brought in, but who's to say Mercedes won't remain a heel and basically, screw over Soraya? And then you could basically start maybe a little program there between them and AEW, and maybe have it go across to Japan and all that. And that's a possibility too. But a lot of people feel that the whole Toni Storm choosing is a red herring, and that, in reality, we're going to get MercedesMone. I mean, they even, I guess you could say, dropped, hints with, Britt Baker saying she's the boss and everything. And it's like, how much more blatant hint-wise can you get, right? But yeah, a lot of people, even JD, even Solomon, even just Alex, all of them are convinced Mercedes is going to be the partner next week, no matter how it turns out in the end. Like I said, no matter how it turns out, in the end. But Dave Meltzer, he's come on board and basically said that's not going to be the case, that Mercedes is not going to be in AEW next week. She's not going to be Soraya's partner. And that basically it's because she doesn't want to make a long commitment to AEW. And that he's also further found out, I guess, from those within WWE, that those in WWE believe that not only will she be back, soon, maybe this year or so, maybe even as soon as the Rumble, but the whole, going to Japan and working for New Japan and Stardom is just to get it out of her system. As one fan puts it, the equivalent of a tantrum, if you will. But we'll have to see, is Meltzer right about Mercedes and not wanting to be part of AEW? That's, it's kind of curious that he would point that out and everything and say it's not going to happen. And yet there are people that say, Meltzer's just saying that because he's an AEW guy and he probably knows she's going to be there, but he has to say that to throw people off and stuff. And, maybe that's true. Maybe that's what he's doing. We don't know. But we'll have to see. Again, there are some people that truly believe that Toni Storm's just a red herring, and that either Baker and Hayter are going to attack her next week or on Rampage this Friday to take her out, and that's how we get Mercedes, or Shida doesn't and goes heel. But Meltzer pretty much, like I said, is convinced from what he's saying that, MercedesMone is not going to be in AEW. She's not going to be part of that because she doesn't want to make a long commitment, and that he believes from those he's heard of in, WWE, she's going to be back, and that this whole, being in Japan, being part of Stardom is just something she has to get out of her system. And as one fan kind of translated it in the comment section, basically she's got to get the tantrum, out of her, out of her. Basically she's got to basically get the steam off of her and everything, if you will. But a lot of people have also pointed out that, Tony Khan has brought in a lot of people, for one or two pure appearances, and that's it. People like Matt Cardona, John Morrison and such. So bringing Mercedes in for one shot wouldn't be out of the question, even if later in the month she goes back to WWE as part of the Rumble. But again, we'll have to see. Is Dave Meltzer saying the truth, or is he just saying this to throw people off too? And does he know more than he's letting on? What are your guys' thoughts? Let me know down below in the comments, and I will talk to you all later.